I'm Ryan Gosling, and this is my story. I'm Tyler DiFebo, and this is my story.
I hear it like a pounds upon.
I looked up Liege Waffle, so this is the first thing that I found. It's a tiny, rich, intense, stretchy, layered, faintly crunchy within from embedded pearls of sugar waffle.
That's pretty intense.
Is that accurate?
It's pretty accurate. I don't know about the layers, but it's definitely a rich, dough-based waffle filled with imported Belgian pearl sugar and lots of butter.
Cool.
Lots of butter. What got me into waffles, I went snowboarding and there was a waffle cabin, and that was the first time I've actually ever had a Liege waffle.
Okay.
So then, being me, I wanted to make it for myself. Figured out my own recipe. Probably took me, like, just nailing down the recipe took me like over a year of what I wanted between that and the chocolate, and then experimenting with other things like marshmallow fluff and fruity pebbles. And coming from Italian bakery, I had to work cannoli cream into there.
Yeah.
But then I was actually going to start a cooking website with different pastries, including the waffles. And then my fiance's cousin, Caroline, kind of pushed me, saying you should sell these. So then I was actually looking at Long Island City flea market, and then it was just going to be a little too hectic. And then my bosses actually let me do the pop-up. When I was working at the bakery, my bosses at A&G Bakery let me do a pop-up in there on Sundays, and it just kind of launched from there. It's just non-stop insanity, and then closed up for a few months, and I had the truck built and started last October with the truck. Yeah, right now it's been officially kind of like a full year with the truck.
What's the biggest lesson that you've learned in this first year of owning this?
Things are gonna happen. Something's gonna break. Still stresses me out, but it kind of, every time it happens, it's just less and less stressful. Don't let it, if you're getting into it, don't overwhelm yourself like you're screwed. Just gotta make things work. Yeah, you kind of have to just go for it sometimes. Like luckily I've made connections, like Texas Roadhouse, been a huge help. Obviously the bowling alley's been a huge help, just letting me even park there.
Right.
And then fabrication shop that I'm friends with, FFE Racing, they do all my fixes now because I don't talk to the guy that built the truck. And he even told me, he's like, if something breaks, you fix it, you know? He's like, don't go crazy over it.
Yeah.
Like one Saturday I pulled up, my main dough freezer just died. But like, I obviously freaked out, was pissed off at the moment, said a few curse words. But then I called up Tony Martinez from Texas Roadhouse and asked him if I could put the dough in his freezer. He said absolutely. So it was just a little more chaotic that weekend, but it still worked. I was running back and forth between Texas Roadhouse and my truck whenever I needed dough.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we've still operated. I've never liked school very much. I always went to school, and then as soon as I got home, went on Xbox. I was that guy. And so I went to Farmingdale College, kind of like against my will. Took the SATs like last minute against my will, and just absolutely hated it. Probably didn't show up to most of the classes. And what finally was like my last straw is like my English teacher wanted me to write like a stupid 3-page essay off of like a picture, and I was like, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. So I actually Googled culinary schools, and then what sold me was I just looked through the curriculum and there was no like normal school subjects. There was no English, there was no real math, there was like culinary math. I'm like, perfect. Sign me up. Like, I think within the week I already went down and looked at it. And that was probably like one of the only schools I enjoyed. Like high school I enjoyed, like I had my friends, I liked the teachers. It was just I didn't like the the work. Like, I like to be very hands-on, and going to ICE like gave me that. It was like a trade school, so I learned all the skills like hands-on. We actually cooked things. It wasn't about like paperwork and all this. It's like, oh, the booklet says write an essay, but then the chef is like, I don't care what the hell you write. If you answer all 3 questions in 1 sentence, perfect. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. This is exactly my mentality. So I went to ICE, and I actually went to learn how to be like a line cook and actually a chef in the kitchen, not a baker. And they touch upon baking, and I actually enjoyed that more. So that's how I ended up in a bakery, and then eventually ended up doing waffles.
Awesome.
So it kind of ties both of them in there. Now I'm my own line cook, but with pastries.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Radio and Vauxhall, Liege Lifeboat, all those, and then just kind of went to radio to just try the food finally. Got addicted to that, and then just kept showing up for the food, and just kind of became friendly with all of them. And now we are actually trying out like a Waffle Wednesday, where like they do waffle skillets with like fried chicken, like hot sauce and mac and cheese, or brisket and like chimichurri sauce. Those are my 2 favorites. And then if it does well, I would like to reach out to like other restaurants and see if they would like to do something similar.
Yeah, that's
along
good.
those lines.
Now, a question I kind of ask everybody, or the past couple of videos that I've done, like personally, what is like one main goal that you have set for yourself, whether it's for this or just in your life in general, to better this side of things?
Main goal, I love money, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I just always rather work as hard as I can to build up myself to the point where I don't have to work ever again. Like, if I have to work my hardest for 30 years and then spend the rest of my life not working, it was worth it. Whenever I work for someone else, you always have the paycheck pre-calculated, what it's going to, and it's just set. When you own your own business, it's nice. It's stressful at times too, because sometimes you don't make the money that you were expecting, but the money is a little bit more in your control between trying your hardest with advertisement and marketing and taking the pictures. You have a little more control over it, like with the variables, as opposed to just showing up and getting paid this.
And I guess kind of like to end it within like the story of how it all started, kind of like where do you see this next October while we're here now?
Hopefully with a lot more private parties next season. Like, hopefully, because this season I wasn't ready for them. I was turning a lot down. So this next season I'll probably start booking stuff now, and hopefully have a lot more money saved up to pay off more of the truck, and possibly start getting like a storefront rolling or a second truck. I would love to have like an ice cream truck with the waffles, so that I could drive around more than just sit in a spot like this one. Like, this would be like the full menu truck with all the crazy stuff, but I would like to have like a Mr. Softy with the waffles on it that you can just get like the soft serve ice cream swirled on it.
Oh my god, nice.
That's hopefully my next step.
I'm sure that would do very well.
Yeah.